Okay, real quick here, you see this gap right here. If you look down the length of that, you can see they touch and then it opens back up down there. Sorry about the motion. Measuring it, it's about a 1/2 inch or 12 mil, 14 mil, something like that. Standing there looking at them, it looks like this is a straight one and that's a crooked one, but this one is actually straight. So we'll use it for the full length, and this one goes into 2 pieces. So I'm pretty confident I can get about a 1/2 stick that's fairly straight out of that, with minor adjustments needed when we install it. So that's what we're going to shoot for here. All right, that channel is 6 by 13, C6 by 13, so it's 6-inch width and 13 pounds a foot. Perfect. Countersunk Simpson Titan screw. See if there's a drawing for this. Hey, there it is. Okay, 1/4 inch in height, 3/4 of an inch width. So if I drill a 1/2 inch hole, I'll take that out to slightly more than 3/4, so it goes just below. So if we got to bond to it, we'll be good. Seems long, but that'll work. Struggle is real. Okay, Siri, what's 64.825 plus 64.825?
64.825 plus 64.825 is 129.65.
Plus 64.825.
129.65 plus 64.825 is 194.475.
All right, we're gonna drill that piece. I laid out both the acute end, the short acute end, and then the end of the long piece here that terminates at the obtuse end. I've laid them out. I've got to cut that flange off. I'm going to drill them and then cut the flange off before I cut it to length, just so that I can clamp the two pieces together to hold them up while I cut. All right, here's what we got. I've got a piece of 1/2 by 1/2 square bar, just tack welded, 2 little tacks right to the side of my saw, which puts the blade just about where I want it. I'm gonna cut a little bit here. So this is just a little proud of that, and what that allows is a little bit of room to roll the TPO. This is upside down, remember? So this side's up, and then this side goes against the concrete wall, and it allows a little bit of room to let the TPO roll down to get it outside the envelope. So. All right, that was 26 minutes. I stopped and changed back to the old blade because there was a lot of tension in that second piece. And the first one took probably 15 minutes. So I changed back so it made a little bit more curve, and that seemed to help. But it was cutting slower because it's missing a couple teeth. So anyway, it's a wash. There's a couple little inattentive spots, but I think overall it's pretty tight tolerance through there. So I'm gonna clean that edge up with the grinder and get a coat of primer on it, so it'll be ready to go for tomorrow. I got about an hour of loading stuff up and cutting parts. It's dumping out there, so I gotta get this stuff on the truck with a big plank and then go grab some scaffolding to set up on the corner of that porch and cut some other little pieces to take with me, and then I gotta stop at the lumberyard. So a busy day today. I'd rather have a plank that goes the whole way, but that'll get me around the corner for now. I can still kind of work on it. All right, we spend the whole job tripping over these things. And the detail requires that I remove them. They're not gonna work. I gotta go. Why don't you just go up there, Mike, and walk out and stay out here? Okay. Where are we going? Up on the porch.
On these blocks.
Yeah.
Oh. You want to lay this at this way?
This is fine like that. I can get the measurements. Perfect. Thanks. All right, I'll show you what we got going here for this Anchorage. Everywhere where there's a stanchion, there's a double hole here. Everything's countersunk through here. There's a double hole where there's a post in the rail system, and this is the backup to it as well. So wherever that is, I'll lay this out. This bolts to the foundation. I've run them all long by 1 inch. They only need to be 6. I've cut them 7 so that I can hang them over and snap a line across all of them and cut them with my skill saw once they're mounted and down, which puts us all at a straight line instead of trying to hang it there and make sure it's straight and then drill it, potentially move the hole over. So one good thing that's come of it is that I hit some rebar over there. So since I have that extra inch, I was able to move in and drill a new set of holes while still leaving this proud with plenty to cut off later. So I'll show you what I got going with that. None of the holes are cleaned, and these are just temporary bolts to keep the holes clean while the regular bolts that we ordered come in. And then on the corner there, I'm sharing, there's a post there and a post there with the rail leapfrogging past that in the system. And then that one I had to move over because I wasn't able to get the drill in. I moved it to where I would be able to get the drill in from the outside to drill that face. And then this is the one I moved in an extra 1/2 inch or so to miss the rebar. These aren't like super heavy duty bolts. They're 3/8 by 4, I think, stainless steel countersunk heads in the face and then in under here. And as we get a little closer to doing the roof, I will show you how we're going to interface with the TPO. I just talked with the roofer today and we worked it all out. So we're back on track. I'm going to finish laying out and drilling these. I don't have to do anything down there. It's just a piece of channel. There's no handrail, just a step. So I'll do that and get some rail measurements and get out of here. All right, not a lot of visual progress today, but a lot of decisions made. I've got enough information now I can start building these rail sections. Even though I don't have it ready to sit on, the roofer's got to come do that. Just started dumping a second ago. Got all my tools put away, and I'm gonna run inside, see if they unmasked the stairway, get some final shots. All right, this is the day after I posted that last video. And I just want to say, I know a lot of people have mentioned that it's super clean and crisp, and I do the best I can, but I really got to say, the painters and the detailers, the builders guys, they really make this stuff turn out. I mean, maybe I'm my own worst critic, but I know there were some spots that I felt were less than hard, but everything else looks really good. Green roof is soaking it up. I think they installed sprinklers on that too. I think for the driest part of the summer. been down here before. They got that rail all painted up yesterday. Looks real good. Some sprinkler lines going in. And then this looks down into the driveway there. A little powder room in there, throne room. There's that curbless shower. Rain head. Alcoves. Cabinet lighting. I'm assuming there's a tub going here somewhere, but I don't know for sure what's going on. I'm sure they can put one in. I'm pretty sure they plumbed for it. I wonder if it's got soft close. Soft enough. Freezer drawers. There's a Jack and Jill right here. Window. That was a late addition. I don't know if I ever shot a picture in one of the episodes of when, let's see, we had that huge storm. Those rocks weren't there, and it washed all the gravel from the front and cut right down through here. And when I pulled into park, I ended up straddling like this huge gully that had washed out and then washed back out in the street. So it's like this whole thing here had 4 inches of gravel on it. We shoveled it all out, threw it over there. But man, this place, the water gets ripping. A lot of water here. All right, I've stacked up those 15 pieces, welded the end together, the ends all together so it can't move, and then I'll go ahead and make the first cut here. I'll just set the saw up on slow and go clean out my truck while that's cutting. I'll hear it when it finishes. The saw sounds different, and then I'll kind of know how long I have in between sets. So after this end is trimmed, I'll slide it along, set the stop gauge, and cut them all. Alright, that's one full stick. Need 9 of those, 9 stanchions. So I'm going to cut one off of each of those other, 1 or 2 off of each of those other 3, because I'm going to build the longest section in around 14 or 15 feet. It's 28.6-ish, so I'll build that in 2 pieces, and the other end is 10.9 or something like that. So I'll cut enough out of those, and that'll save material because the stanchions on the top rail are both 5/8. All right, I'm going to use the marble saw to bevel prep these stanchions or posts for this rail. I need to put a bevel on each one, a fairly substantial one, just because of the attachment that the engineer called for. I have a Fireball Tools Minion. They come in sets, and they're lefts and rights. They come in handy from time to time. It does. It's okay. Let's try repeatability. It's all right. It's a hair bit unequal, I think, because it's loose in there. But maybe I can pull on that or put a little wedge in there or something. We'll do some more. All right, that's 9 of them. I will level those up. They just need touched up when I clean off the rest of the mill scale there for the weld. All right, you can see right there where the top rail is split over that stanchion. I'm gonna add the post to this long side just because it's bigger and heavier and it needs the stiffness. The remaining piece that goes towards the acute angle or the acute end of the porch is only 2 bays, so I can leave the post off of it because it's smaller and lighter. All right, the top rail's all clamped to the table. I decided to get this thing set to square before I load it with pickets because it will be too heavy to move. I've taken 1 fireball square here in the top corner to the top rail, and I'm squaring this stanchion in, clamping the bottom end of that to the table before I take off and run the other way with it. And we'll see if that's enough once I get it all tacked together to hold it square. All right, 204 3/8 on the money. Right on.
I'll take it.
I think I gotta put a stiffener on that. All right, last piece of the porch here at the very end. I just flipped it and I have to weld out the picket bottoms or the top edge of the pickets there. And then I grind it out, load it on the truck. That's that stainless steel Titan with the T50 in it. I think that'll work. That is stop. That is stop too.
Okay.
Let's get it up on there first, okay?
Here?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. It's got to slide to me about 5 inches. Ready? No more. Hold it. I built that one backward, but I realized I put the small piece out there to keep it light. So we'll have to move that. I was going to adjust it now, but we'll have to move it. Got my heart racing there for a second. Okay, that is all set. We are ready to weld it out. Okay, last couple of pieces here. There's a little one there on the end. And then this long one is 2 sections. So I'm doing the short section here. I have the long one after it. All right, a little bit of a side quest here. This little bakery table a buddy of mine left behind when he was moving. Had no intentions to take it. It was in pretty bad shape. It's kind of like an automotive deal. Had some oil on it, some scuffs. Been a vise mounted to it. I'm just giving it a break time rehab. I went over it this morning with a wire brush and gouged out some stuff, gouged out some bolts, countersunk some holes, and then thinned out some wood putty with a little bit of acetone to get it to soften up just a little bit. Spread it on there. I'm just going to sand it off and see what I get out of it. I'll hit it with the belt sander and then probably the random orbit later to see what we come up with. What's that all about? Alright, I moved this hinge out a little bit because this was drooping when it shut. I'll grind that off. I'll weld that and grind that off. Everything's tacked on with the welding now. I think I was going to come up with some sort of snap catch for the wall, but I'm thinking now with that much weight hanging there, there's really no way around it. I will probably come up with a catch that it actually rests on there to take the weight off the system most of the time. It's rarely going to be used, but we'll see if it works out a little better. All right, that's centered over the curb wall in the carport, and this line here is roughly the concrete wall. All right, between these collection of pieces, I think I got an idea, so I'm going to build it real quick, see if it works out. Might take a couple tries, but I've got a good idea. All right, here's what we've got. There'll be a little stud here. That'll go into 2 holes in the wall. Oh, sorry. All right, so we'll walk, go towards the corner. Sweet. There you go up.
Okay.
Okay. There's a darn wedge standing on its end, and it's hitting that just amazingly.
That's right.
That's a lot better. All right, we got that piece in. I'm gonna go get a square. Get that all wedged off. All right, that works well enough. I think we can figure it out. We'll let it develop anyway. I don't know if the camera's picking this up or if I'm in the way, but I mean, it's not like the thing can overswing anyway. It just hits the wall. Nothing's glued in. Holes can be patched. We may come up with something else like a magnet or something, but I think this will work for now. It's not even really a pass-through. It's just an option because I think it needs to be here. All right. All right, I was just taking pictures here and noticed it's kind of a wild shot. It just looks like the tree's part of that corner. You can see the edge of the glass there. Nobody's here, it's all quiet. Got the rail installed. I think I'll run inside and do another walkthrough. All right, we'll start down here in the kitchen. I think this is what they call rips on plywood. There's a little bit of texture to it, all white oak. I think they're starting to stage the house. Powder room here. At one point this was a built-in. I think they've made it a closet now, so this is probably like another bedroom. We'll go through the Jack and Jill here. Turn on some lights. Shower. Towel bar, throne room. This was that window that was a late addition. I really like it. This is one of the only windows with a windowsill in here. This is another bedroom. I really like this room here. It's got an ensuite in here. We'll check that out in a minute, but looks back at everything. Let's see here. I think we push the button, open that, and you can just shut it. And it'll soft close that way, and then soft closes that way. I'm sure this one's the same. Let me turn some lights on in here. And then this is what they were working on last time I was here. So you've got the shower. And you go in here. And then this is another set of glass doors that open up. And these look like to be 2x8 Ipe shelves floating in there. Oscar did a nice job with those. Obscure window, but it's like plants, potted plants. This is that reglet detail there. So let's see, they've painted that wall color, tub, curtain track detail all wrapped up here. This is that corner bathroom. All right, and then here is the green roof back here. So here you're looking past green into the green. It's got the little Juliet rail there. I should look down here. You can see the courtyard down there. Look down there. It's the other green roof with the patio, but we'll go this way. Got a closet here. Oh, washer and dryer hookup right here. That's pretty slick. Obscure. We got a double track up here. Double drapery track. Again, floating cabinet. Tiles all done. And then we've got the bigger curbless shower here. Handheld. A little throne room in here. Yeah, that's cool. And then this is over the driveway here. Chimney stack out there for the gas fireplace. Pretty bright out there. Driveway level, garage level. This is getting cleaned out. I think that door is 22 feet. There's some big, what happens with these things when they go up, now they're hanging. You know, when they open and they're laying horizontal open, they're hanging down, so they have to put these big stiffeners on there. I don't know if you can see that, but these are big ribs. I actually like these a little better than some of the ones I've seen, which is like a triangle thing. This looks pretty good. Utility room. I know there's a furnace in there. Wet bar area. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this patio out here, but I know they got plans. Some staged furniture. And then we'll turn the light on here in the sauna. Nice little sauna. Cedar. Pretty cool. Oh, that reminds me, there's one shot upstairs I want to show you guys. I remember when I was framing this, I spotted this line here. Sort of gives you that airport feel. Now with the rail down there, that looks really good. And then, so you're looking down here, but then you come around the corner and you can see all the way down to that far window. That's such a good look. I probably would have made it a little bit bigger, but that's just fine. I don't know if that really shows up. It's super impactful when you're standing here live. I don't know if this camera really gives you that feel, but man, I like that a lot. All right, let's get out of here. That's the modern house.